Hey everybody, we made it. It's Sunday, the end of the toy store week. I don't want to say Sundays are kind of, the lazy day of the week, but they really are. Saturdays, we're always busy, and Sunday, we just kind of like to sit back, relax a little bit, reflect on the week, maybe plan next week's projects, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. There are a few things I want to talk about. Some customer interactions, or I guess it was just kind of like one little interaction there. I don't want to use the word incident. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't anything major, but it kind of reminded me of like our values around here. What are the core principles of the toy store? So we might talk a little bit about that. We do have some new people. Welcome to the channel. We appreciate the support. And of course, everyone that's kind of been following along the journey, thank you. I don't feel like I say that enough. Everyone out there that supports the channel, we really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun making these videos, and we're just gonna keep grinding it out. The first thing we're gonna dive into, we've spent a lot of time kind of decluttering the toy store. We're pulling toys, toys that are lining the walls. Maybe they're buried on the bottom shelves. We're pulling those out, we're repricing them, giving them a new life, so to speak. And I think it's working. The best example I can think of, these skateboards, okay? If you missed the last video, we pulled these skateboards off the floor. We made sure to put the price tags where you can see them, and we put them up here where they're very visible. There was a bunch of clutter here anyway. And guess what? We sold a skateboard. So I don't think that's just coincidence. We hadn't sold a skateboard in a while. And that's because if you can't see it, if it's not displayed properly, you can't sell it. I say that a lot, and that is very true. Let's do one more. Let's look at one more example of toys I pulled out of the abyss that I think are pretty decent toys. This is a Jakks Disney Raya the Last Dragon 14-inch doll. Now, I know that this movie's a little older. I had to Google it, 2021. But I think it's a good toy. I really do. I repriced it, lowered the price, very, very good price. Put it up front where it's visible, and we'll see if it sells this week. I kind of mentioned Sunday was a day to just reflect on the toy store, walk around, kind of recover from Saturday, because you find things like this. This is the Chewbacca lightsaber. The other, I guess this would be the dark side lightsaber, and it's in a Super Mario box right at the front of the store. Things get moved around here. You've got a lot of little hands, little minds, and they like to move the toys around when they're playing with them. And that's another reason on Sunday we don't dive into any big projects. Just kind of look around, straighten up, and yes, these things happen. We didn't sell any Lego this week. That's okay. We just got them in, so we'll see how those perform. I don't know about the prices on those. I tried to be very reasonable, price below everybody else, but it still felt like they were pretty high priced. I wanted to talk about a customer interaction we had regarding this particular toy, but before that, I kind of need to set the stage a little bit. I'll just set this down. I don't want to be waving it around the whole time. But we are an Overstock toy store. It's in our name, the Overstock Toy Shop. And sometimes that kind of gets misinterpreted. That doesn't mean we're like a junk store or we have just returns laying around. This is all new in box toys. We can look around and see new in box, new in box. These are good toys, toys that are still in the store. And how it all works, I'll just use Target as an example. Things that are popular in Chicago, they might not be popular in St. Louis. So if you've got Overstock, it doesn't just come from one store, right? I'm not going down to the local Target here in Peoria and trying to bargain them up for some Overstock toys. You get a big variety, they go to a central location, and then that's kind of where we come in. I guess the reason I'm explaining that is because sometimes people come in and think you're gonna get junk. You're not. These are really good toys. We just take them, we clean them up. If they need cleaned up, a lot of times they don't, and we reprice them. We do get some toys that aren't super popular. Right off the top of my head, since I just moved one, the Young Jedi stuff. We're going to have to price those toys really at the bottom end to get them to move. And that happens. We have a little bit of that. There's also toys we order to fill in the gaps. We order from Jack's. We order from Toy House, Sheffers, UPD. Not everything is Overstock, but it is all good quality merchandise. And the big thing, it is price guaranteed. That was a super long way for me to wrap back around to this Elsa doll. I had a customer come in and she was asking me about the jumping jacks that used to be kind of down this way. We'll take a look. I'll give the story some context. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see it, but there's an AMC theater kind of past the Child Time daycare. Now, beside the AMC theater, there used to be a jumping jacks. I'm going to set this back down. If you're not familiar with jumping jacks, it's a big indoor trampoline park. Now, that jumping jacks has been closed since the very first day of the COVID lockdowns. I'm not sure the exact date, how long ago that was, but it's been 3 years, something like that. Okay, everybody, I have to jump in right here. The video, I already had it recorded. We'll keep going with that. I don't know if it's coincidental, if it's like a sign, but I just talked to someone that is going to be renting that jumping jack space out, and they are putting in a bouncing bees. It's the same thing, just a different name, a trampoline park. It should have lots of kids coming into that part of the shopping center, and that is really good news. She said they are looking at January, that's when they'll be opening up. The shopping center here, it's starting to get some new life in it, and I am super excited. I'm thinking like cross promotions, things like that, kind of build off the businesses here. And it's a good thing, it really is. And I cannot wait for that to happen. But back to the regular part of the video. I'm gonna put this down because I like to talk with my hands sometimes. So she came in, she was asking a bunch of questions about the jumping jacks, and which is fine. We're all about customer service here. We treat people with respect. We're building relationships, build a customer base by being respectful, trying to help people out. And that's what we're all about here. So I was trying my best to answer the questions, and then she started asking about frozen toys, and I said, you know, we have some in the shop. Those go pretty quick. And are they making frozen toys anymore? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. It feels like when we get frozen toys in, they move pretty quick. So my brother was in the shop. He came down here, and we were in kind of the middle section of the store where we keep a lot of our Disney, you know, like here you've got Little Mermaid, you've got Wish, there's My Little Pony, there's these LIY dolls. But somewhere buried in here, my brother found one of these Frozen dolls. There were actually two. And so here's the thing. Sometimes with Overstock, it's been sitting a little bit before it gets to us, and the batteries die. Now, case in point, this Elsa doll. When you raise the arm of the Elsa doll, she's supposed to sing, it's supposed to light up, it's got a bunch of things going on, and the batteries are dead. The batteries are dead in this one, the batteries are dead in that one. And she said, well, I'm not paying 20 bucks or whatever it is for a broken toy. And then kind of, I don't want to say stomped out, but they left. Like she left after that, like beelined it out. And that part doesn't bother me. We get it. You know, you're going to have to pay for batteries or whatever. But then I started looking at the prices on these, and we are 30 to 40% cheaper than anybody else. And she was complaining about the price as she was kind of going out the door. And I get it. Not everyone's going to buy a toy. We'll treat you the same no matter what. You come in, you want to look around for 5 hours, go for it. You know, if you want to come in and load up, go for it. You're in a toy store. You're supposed to be here to have fun. We did have several other customers around, and it was just a little awkward, and that happens. These things happen all the time, but so where am I going with that? I mean, I don't know if there's anywhere to go with it. It just happens in the Overstock game. We will not replace batteries in all these toys. What we do though, is test test the toys if we can. Now the packaging on this, it's one of those where you don't want to open it up because you're gonna have to put a bunch of tape on it to get it looking right again. But I could almost guarantee that it's just dead batteries. The toys aren't broken. And most people that come in understand the toys aren't broken, like she was saying on the way out. She didn't even really give us a chance to go, hey, we'll open one of these, put batteries in it and test it out if you want to see if it works. We will do that. If you are interested in a toy and you think it needs a battery change, or if we think it needs fresh batteries to try it out, we'll open it up. We'll test it. If it works and you want it, great. If you don't want it, that's fine. We'll try to tape it back up. We've got no problem doing those type of things. Again, we are all about customer service. We're building a client base. We see a lot of repeat customers. And it's almost been a year. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's almost been a year since we've been open. And wow, what a great year it's been. I'm not really going anywhere with that. We're just kind of reflecting. But as I'm looking over here, I moved these Mega Foreigner rows up. They were buried somewhere. I moved them up front, and yesterday we sold one. We need to get over to the storage unit and pull out the stuffies. I'm glad we're finally selling some of these down. These are slowly starting to go down, and that's a good thing. We've got a bunch of Christmas stuffies. It might be a little early for Christmas stuffies, but I think we need to start thinking about digging those out. This video, we're kind of blowing off some steam, kind of chatterboxing. That's okay. You need to do that every now and then. Again, I just want to say thank you to everyone that tunes in. It's a lot of fun. I'm very grateful for that. And if you would have asked me a year ago if we would have been doing this right here, I would have said you are crazy. But here we are, and I'm just super thankful for that. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Take the day, kind of look around, reflect, and just really soak it in. That's what I'm gonna do today. And until next time, I will see you later. Peace.